This is Dakota News Now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to live coverage of the Avera Race Against Cancer presented by Dakota News Now. I'm Kara Setzer.
I'm Brian Allen. As you can hear, festivities very much underway already this morning. A little bit loud out here, but that's okay. This is the 38th year of this race, and over the next hour, you're going to hear from survivors, organizers, volunteers, and other participants. And keep in mind, along with Kara and myself, we're going to be joined by Sports Director Mark Ovenden, who is stationed along the race route. He'll have one of the best looks of the action as it unfolds here this morning. And we'll also be checking in with Amelia Roberts, who is currently at the start-finish line.
But before we get going, we'd like you to know that you can still make a difference in this year's race. Donations are still being accepted. All you need to do is scan that QR code you see on your screen right now to make this the most successful Avera Race Against Cancer yet. And Sioux Falls isn't the only city in the Dakota News Now area hosting a race. We'll also hear from Marshall, Minnesota, Mitchell, Pierre, and Yankton as they get set to hold their annual events as well. And things are also getting underway in Aberdeen.
Of course, back in Sioux Falls, Dakota News Now is not only covering this year's race, we also have a team of runners taking part. There they are right there. This year's race marking the 15th year that Dakota News Now and KSFY have fielded a team to run in this race. In fact, you can probably see some familiar faces from years past on your screen right now. Speaking of a familiar face, let's talk about the weather here for a second. About an hour ago, there was a little bit of rain that was falling here. It is not right now. Fingers crossed that it stays that way. Meteorologist Jason Lillick back at home base to take a look at the weather for us this morning. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir, guys. How are we doing out there, especially as we're going over the next couple of hours? We have been tracking a few showers. You may have already felt that over the last couple of minutes. And here's a look at First Alert Live Doppler radar. You can kind of see there is still a few showers lingering here in downtown Sioux Falls. We'll get a zoomed in look here. And there's just a lot of noise. A lot of these aren't even reaching the ground. Some of those heavier showers are off to our north and to our west, but they are making their way into downtown Sioux Falls. This is something that could impact the very start of the race. So definitely we're going to keep an eye on things here over the next 15 to 20 minutes. So there may be a few more sprinkles on the way. And then once we get towards the 8 o'clock, or I should say 9 o'clock hour, that's where things could start to be leaving that vicinity. We're going to hop things back over to the state's capital in Pierre, where there are also a few showers going on at this point. But those are even leaving the viewing area as well. There may be another 15 to 20 minutes of a few showers before you look to be completely done, and those clouds will also be leaving the vicinity. Here's a look at where temperatures stand there in Pierre. You're at 50 degrees, relatively nice outside compared to where we have been the last couple of mornings. You'll definitely take that for sure. Light jacket is all you'll need out there. 52 in downtown Sioux Falls. That cold front has made its way through overnight, and we're calm right now in downtown Sioux Falls for those winds. Pierre, you're at about 9 miles per hour, but that northerly flow will be picking up throughout the morning, so there could be some breezy conditions before things are all set and done. Over the next couple of hours in those two locations, a lot of those rain showers look to be making an end. They should be clearing themselves out of the region. But one thing, again, that we are going to be seeing over the next couple of minutes and even into the next hour or so are still those rain chances lingering. And also we're going to be seeing those strong wind gusts making a return into the region over the next couple of hours as well. But until then, make sure you are bundling up still. There's still a little bit of some cooler temperatures out there, and watch out for a few rain showers. I'll send things back over to Brian and Kara for a little bit more look about what's going on down there.
Mr. Lillick, thank you for the weather update. We're going to call a quick audible here. We want to show you some of the runners that are taking off right now for the first event of the Avera Race Against Cancer this morning. These folks literally just left the start line, which will also then be the finish line on the way back. And look at those folks, Kara, as they mean business this morning.
I know, for real. They're starting out strong, and I can't wait to see the rest of the races too. So
yeah, it's always so exciting. There's obviously a couple of different events here. Look at that. We got some great camera work going on this morning.
For sure.
These folks are taking off. There's a couple of different events. There's a 10K, there's a 5K, there's a family-friendly walk, run. Every year, it's just so cool to stand here and watch these people as they take off.
Yeah, for sure. And the training that goes into it too. I'm sure they've been working so hard to be here and
yeah.
to perform
Well,
today.
know.
So yeah. I was actually training with the team even though I wasn't participating directly. So I understand how hard some of those parts of the course can be. So very much respect to them for sure.
Oh yeah. Good luck, friends, as you start your run this morning. In the meantime, as we said off at the top of the show, this is the 38th year for the Avera Race Against Cancer. And let's turn now to one person who has helped and volunteered since race number 1.
You may recognize her from her energetic openings and warm-ups. Sam Schauer introduces us to Jackie Hagar-Tushin.
Before every Avera Race Against Cancer, Jackie Hagar-Tushin makes sure everyone is excited and ready for the annual race. Her warm-ups get everyone pumped, from her stretching and dancing to the lively music. She says it's a great environment for an important cause.
Get the whole group excited with the music being played. There's lights, there's confetti, and it's a celebration.
What started out as a race to support a member of the Sioux Falls Junior League who had breast cancer has grown into something much more. Hagar-Tushin has been involved since the very first race and has seen it grow every year.
It is an event for everyone. Walkers, runners, survivors can do this race. You just see all walks of life, all demographics, but everybody has been touched by cancer in some way.
Every participant runs or walks for a person or family touched by cancer, and Hagar-Tushin is no different.
I've had family members I've lost. I've had friends I've lost, but also friends and family members that have cancer now, that I do this for them, and I do this for the community.
This race means a lot to her, and she says she's always going to be present, whether that's participating or supporting others.
It's just something that each year you just know you made a difference and you're going to want to do it again. So I'm going to want to do it again.
And she'll always be there, providing her joy, excitement, enthusiasm, and love to not only those running or walking, but also to those that we've lost or are still fighting. At the Avera Race Against Cancer presented by Dakota News Now, I'm Sam Schauer.
And just a reminder that cancer affects everyone. You can still make a difference in this year's race, and donations are still being accepted. All you need to do is scan that QR code that you see on your screen right now to make this the most successful Avera Race Against Cancer yet.
And here to talk to us this morning, there are a lot of people here, as you might imagine. Miranda Van Loer, a nurse practitioner with Avera. It is good to see you this morning.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for being here.
You bet. I know it's a busy morning because aside from talking to us about the race, you're actually also taking part. I imagine that this is one of those things that is kind of a real passion thing for you.
Yeah, we're so lucky to be a part of the Avera Cancer Institute and be able to take part in this race each year. There's just such incredible energy that surrounds this event, and that's one of my favorite things about it. To be able to come out here and remember those who have survived cancer, support those who are fighting, and then just be able to go for a run while we're here at it.
Yeah, so is this your first time participating in the race, or a few in previous years?
I have participated 4 or 5 times total.
Awesome,
when my kids were younger, my husband and I used to push them in the stroller. Now they're a little bit older, so they're kind of at that in-between stage. So now we run, and it's been great.
How are you feeling about today's race?
Feeling good. Jackie did a great job of getting us pumped up.
Right.
She is amazing. I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah, so you're a nurse practitioner. What does your job entail?
Yeah, so I'm a nurse practitioner in the breast clinic at the Avera Cancer Institute. So I see patients who have had breast cancer, and then I see patients who are also at high risk for breast cancer, and we talk to them about screenings and what they should do.
Yeah, and throughout your career, how have things changed in terms of like treatments and care and stuff? Yeah,
so I mean, treatment and screenings have just come such a long way.
Yeah.
Just a lot more sensitive screenings now, where we're able to detect cancer a lot earlier, which then of course leads to better outcomes, better treatment. A lot of good changes that have come.
Other than your work, do you have a personal connection? Like, have you had a loved one that's had cancer? Can you walk me through that?
Yeah, so I've had grandparents, a couple grandparents who have had cancer. I have a good friend who has had cancer. And so it's not just, it's for my patients, but it's also the personal connections, which is another reason why it's so important to take part in the race each year.
And it's so heartening when you look out here. I mean, just look at the people who are lined up in front of us right now. We've got like a sea of humanity behind us here, folks. And
we really do.
Different colored shirts, different teams going on. That has to feel, right, it's melancholy, right? It's great on one sense because there's so many people out here supporting this. The other side of that coin is, look at how many people's lives have in one way or another been affected by cancer.
Right. I mean, it's so common. Everybody knows someone who's had cancer, been affected by cancer, and it honestly gives me goosebumps to seeing the runners start seeing everybody out here. And so it's just incredible that as a community we come together each year, and it just gets bigger year after year. So I think that really says something regarding how great of an event this is and just the great cause that we're all here for.
And what do you hope that people take away from being here today?
Just come out and have fun, but also remember that we need to remember those who have had cancer, support those who are fighting, because one day it could be me, it could be you, we just never know. And so just have fun, life is short.
And it comes as a surprise until it doesn't.
Exactly. It can happen any day. You might go into the ER tomorrow with a pain, and then your whole life could change. You
truly never know
what's going to happen. Yeah,
sure.
Miranda, thanks for being with us this morning. It was really nice to talk to you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks, Miranda. As she mentioned, it is so prevalent in families. My great-grandfather died of cancer. My grandmother died of cancer. My mother, who I think is watching this morning, good morning, Mom, she is a cancer survivor. So it is one of those things where it's really rare now where you can meet someone who either hasn't been directly affected by it or ancillary affected by it,
Yes, I think everyone's been touched by cancer in some way, whether it be family, friends. My own grandfather passed away a few years ago from lung cancer, so I think it's something where no one's going to go untouched by that, and it's just really important to bring awareness and be here today supporting the cause.
For sure. All right, the 10K race about to start, so let's take a look at the route that the runners will be taking. I don't know what camera I'm on, I'm sorry folks. The start-finish line does remain the same, keep that in mind. But from there, runners go to 41st Street, then over to Bonson. They take a turn on 33rd Street to Old Orchard Trail.
And from there, the runners will spend the rest of the route along the Big Sioux River and Southeastern Avenue. They turn around once they reach Cherry Rock Park before heading back down Southeastern to the finish line.
And in fact, I think we're going to take a look at maybe the runners that are, there's another batch of runners lined up down there at the start-finish line. Would that be the 5K?
I think they're about to start the 5K, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I think Bailey was talking about that earlier. Super excited for them. I know they've been training for a while. This is their time to shine. Maybe get some winnings, I don't know. But
you know what's interesting, and I know you've probably run into this already, is there are folks in this community where this is the road race. They run one a year.
Yes.
And it is this one. And I think I'm hearing them talk about lining up and getting ready to go here again.
I think they are. I believe it starts at 8:15, so they may have a few more minutes. It's 8:09:58 right now. So
one of the beautiful things about live broadcasting an event like this is that sometimes you're stuck in hurry up and wait.
Yeah. No, exactly.
We're waiting for the things to happen, but it's just, it's like Miranda was saying when she was talking to us just earlier. Okay. It's just how many people are here.
For sure,
and how that is surprising.
Yes.
But then also really not surprising.
Exactly, and so many people that I've talked to, not just at Dakota News Now, but different people are all running with their companies, with their friends, with their jobs, so it's really cool how many people this event impacts and everyone who's participating.
Sure.
For sure.
I think our producer, Chris Dexter, wants us to move on here momentarily.
Well, here we go. So cancer has affected many lives, including some within the Dakota News Now family as well, and that does include Chief Meteorologist Phil Schreck and his wife, Christy.
Yeah, they couldn't be with us here this morning. They're visiting family out of state, great vacation in California. But before they left, Phil and Christy shared their story with us. Take a look at this here.
Well, I got started with the Avera race probably in the early to mid 90s because I just thought it was a great cause. And I like to run and I wanted to stay in shape, so I thought it was an awesome cause. So I had been running in the race for several years, and then so that I would say that was probably about 96, 97. I probably first started running in the race, and then did it every year, and then in 2007, thing kind of changed a little bit for us because instead of running for other people, uh, 2007, I actually ran for my wife, Christy, because, as a matter of fact, the day before the race in 2007, Christy was diagnosed with breast cancer. So that was such a surreal thing. Here we were prepared to be in the race as normal, running to raise money for other people, and here I am with my wife's name on my back, and it was just the strangest thing, and um, that's how things became a lot more personal for me.
And so that is bringing me up almost to my 20-year anniversary of being diagnosed with cancer and living 20 years out, and how things have changed and grown because of the race. Again, being a part of it back in the day, I've been a part of it since before I even had cancer. So then again, like Phil said too, having the name on the back, it just brought it closer to home, which then turned to even being closer when Phil was diagnosed with
Well,
cancer.
and then, let's fast forward to 2019, and in that year, I think it was June, so it would have been after the race that year. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer in June of 2019, and decided to have the cancer removed with robotic surgery in January of 2020. And then that year, we had both of our names on our backs, both me and Christy. And also, my dad had at that point been diagnosed with prostate cancer as
Yes.
well. So it became even more personal in 2019/2020. And so I just think and then at the beginning, the race was called the Avera Race Against Breast Cancer.
Yes.
Um, and then later it was changed to the Avera Race Against Cancer to include all types of cancer. And
Correct.
that's why, unfortunately, I was included in that race as well. But here I am, 6 years out now, and cancer free. Christy's cancer free, and I think some of that, or a lot of that, might have something to do with the Avera race and all the money that was raised over the years.
And the fact that the race has continued to grow over the years has been such a moment in our lives to know that. I know people might think that's a bad thing because more people are getting cancer, but I was told then that more people are being helped because of the research, because of the Avera race raising funds to support all of these great things that are making people live longer and have good information, and to have personal connections with people who are survivors of cancer. Um, Both of us having cancer and seeing our children have our names on the back of their
Yeah.
name plates. It's surreal. I feel bad for my kids to think that I have got a mom and a dad and grandparents that have cancer, and they're pretty much thinking, well, chances don't look so good for me escaping it. But the cool thing is that they've got a mom and a dad that have survived it, and because of the support from the Avera race and the community and people hearing our stories, it doesn't have to be a death sentence anymore.
Yeah, and how many kids can say that both my mom and dad had cancer and they're still around?
Yes.
So that's just an
Yes.
awesome thing. And again, I think some of that we have to go back, to what the Avera race has done over the years, and the money and that's been gone to research and things like that. So it's just a very personal thing now, even more that we both have had cancer and are survivors.
And what you've been watching in the double box that we've now taken full, the 5K runners about 30 seconds ago got the green light to start their run, and they are getting it done right now.
And there are so many of them. They just keep going. It's so awesome to see. We've got people of all ages. We've got kids, teenagers, adults. It's
And
really
again,
spread out for sure.
again, the thing that we always keep in mind is, yeah, it's a fun run, but this is the type of run that really has a purpose behind that.
For sure, for sure.
Let's, as we continue to watch these folks run, let's talk about Phil and Christy for a second. We learned a lot about our friend Phil when Christy was diagnosed with cancer and how he stepped up for her and their family. And then the prostate cancer diagnosis came for Phil in 2019. And it's one of those things, it's like we talked about, it's not you until it is, you know?
Exactly.
And when Phil got that diagnosis, it knocked us on our butts.
I'm sure.
Obviously him as well, but to see how upfront he was with it and sharing his story and how upfront they are, Christy and Phil, that can't be a comfortable thing to go on television and tell your personal health story. But for them, it has a happy ending. They both overcame it, and we're so thankful that they did. They both add so much to the community, and they would be, if they weren't on vacation, they would be among the first to be here.
Oh, 100%.
Supporting everyone else that's acting on their behalf and the behalf of their loved ones, on behalf of the larger community.
Exactly, and their courage to share their story once again just definitely cannot go unnoticed. It's really, we're so glad that they're here with us today, and it really does prove that it can be anyone. It can be a coworker, it can be family, it can be friends. You really don't know, so that's why it's just so important to support the cause today and to be here and to show up and show out. So.
Also, if you had rain on your bingo card for this year's event, you win. It started pouring pretty good there.
Yeah.
It has tapered off again. We'll have to wait and see if it picks up again, but it's not going to stop these folks.
Not at all, not at all. Nothing's going to stop them.
No, at all. All right, hey, Phil's story, by the way, is one of thousands in South Dakota that remind all of us that cancer really does affect everyone. You can still make a difference in this year's race. Don't think that because you're at home and you're not here or in Aberdeen or in one of the other Avera run locations that you can't take part. Donations are still being accepted. All you need to do, scan that QR code right there on your screen to make this the most successful Avera Race Against Cancer yet. So glad you're with us this morning. Our coverage of the Avera Race Against Cancer will continue right after this.
So I started my journey through cancer shortly after the Avera Cancer Institute was opened in Pierre at the Helmsley Center. And I was still able to take advantage of the WIG program through the New Look Same You, and the funds that are raised at the race are what supports that program. So it wasn't only that, but it was just the full support, travel, all of that happened. I was very lucky to be able to get my treatment right at home, but I also had to come to Sioux Falls for certain things too. So the things that the race does just lifts all of us, whether it's a person going through the journey or their family. So if you can't make it to the race today, you can scan the QR code on the screen and make a donation to support cancer survivors like me and patients and families that are going through a cancer journey today.
And welcome back to our race coverage. I'm Sports Director Mark Ovenden. I've got my golf umbrella. Holly is holding my golf umbrella. Holly Huntemer, who's helping out. She's our director on the spot. It's right behind there. The reason I brought it is because if you're a golfer and you bring the umbrella, it won't rain. So we've gotten a few sprinkles, but we're okay. The 5K racers just starting now, and it's a huge number of racers. Let's pull up the graphic and we'll see. As we're standing here on Southeastern, we can see the 10K runners heading north on Southeastern. But here's the route for the 5K. The early part of the route is nearly identical to the 10K. They run down 41st Street with a slight detour on Nick Ann Court, head north on Bonson to 33rd Street. From there, they head down Old Orchard Trail, and that's where we connect with the 5K runners, because instead of turning right and heading north on Southeastern, they turn left and run right by us. So here shortly, we're going to see a lot of runners coming this direction over my shoulder. In fact, you might be able to see this little sign here on the sidewalk, next to the sidewalk, encouraging the runners in the 5K. It says final mile, so they know they're getting close to the finish line. Wonderful to have so many people out here participating today. And you heard the story from Phil and Christy. So glad they were willing to sit down and share their story. We've got a couple of cancer survivors on our crew, the other being me. And I found out a little over 3 years ago that I had prostate cancer, got the phone call from my urologist. Shook my world when they called and said, would you like results of your test? And I said, you bet. And they said, you have cancer. And I can't tell you, I don't know that I can really truly describe what that feeling was like. It was a gut punch. But you take a deep breath and you move on. I made a lot of phone calls, talked to a lot of people over the course of the next few weeks to figure out what to do. Considered a wide variety of options, and as I said, I talked to doctors, I talked to nurses, oncology nurses, great friends, people that had gone through it, and I think it's really important to make sure you connect with people that have had a similar experience. It's really important to know that you can talk to people who have been through this, because they can kind of talk you through it and make you realize, and Phil was like probably the first person I went and talked to, because it gave me hope that something good could come out of this. Cancer does not necessarily, when you find out you have it, mean that it's the end. And in my case, I got extremely lucky, chose to have surgery as Phil did, but I did that after several weeks of deliberation. And coming up next Wednesday, I go in for my checkup again. I get my PSA tested. And that's the one thing I want to really encourage everyone out there, and I'm talking guys for prostate cancer, get checked. Get your checkup, get your yearly checkup. A blood test is simple. The PSA level is measured from your blood test. It's not like an invasive test that you have to have done. However, I also want to encourage you to get a colonoscopy. I'm pretty proud of my middle son, Nick. He just got his first colonoscopy. He's 42 years old. And my dad had colon cancer. My mom had breast cancer. It runs in the family. I've had 10 colonoscopies. And I've gotten to the point where that stuff you drink, I like the taste of it. Doesn't bother me at all. And I've had polyps removed, I think 8 of the 10 times I've had colonoscopies. So it's important to get checked. There's light at the end of the tunnel. If you have prostate cancer, there's a great chance you're going to survive it, especially if you catch it early. So that's my story when it comes to cancer. I feel very lucky that we caught it in time. It was 40% of the tumor was 40% of my prostate, and we had no idea until it was removed. So again, there can always be a somewhat happy ending to these stories, but we all know lots of people that have been affected by it. As I said, multiple people in my family. I've lost a lot of friends in the last year since we did this 12 months ago, and people younger than me. So get checked. That is the most important thing. And how can we fight this? Well, you can open your wallet. Let's pull up the graphic. How can you give? When Susan McGowan and I used to do the Jerry Lewis telethon, Susan used to say, give until it feels good. And that's the encouragement I would tell you. Don't feel like you have to give. Feel like you want to. Give if you want to give. Give until it feels good. You can make a difference in this year's race. Donations are being accepted. All you need to do is scan that QR code that you see on the screen to make this the most successful race against cancer yet. All right. We're glad you're here watching us today. It's holding off here weather-wise. Holly's got the umbrella just in case, but because we got the golf umbrella, here, come here, Holly, you can come in here. Because we have the golf umbrella, we're doing just fine. Glad to have you here today. Thank you. You're doing a great job. All right, the 3-mile and 1.5-mile races, or I should say walks, are just getting ready to start. It's a perfect day if you're a runner or a walker. It might be a little chilly for Holly and her dad Adam and I out here, but the runners and walkers are loving this. So it's a beautiful day for this. All right. Now, when it comes to the Avera Race Against Cancer, one survivor says that no other community does it better than Pierre, and there's races in a lot of different places today. Sam Schauer talked with Rob Wiley about how a small town culture helped him, but also everybody in the fight against cancer.
After close to 40 years working as a public employee for the state, Rob Wiley was looking forward to a relaxing retirement in January of 2020. Instead, he was met with a cancer diagnosis of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in the same month.
By February of 2020, I was fully embraced in a cancer treatment run. It was not the way anyone would ever hope or expect to have their retirement start.
Wiley was transferred to Sioux Falls for treatment, but was quickly moved back to Pierre when the COVID-19 pandemic started. It was a difficult time not only for him, but for his family.
Whether I was in the hospital or doing treatments, whatever, you're always thinking about how will this affect my family and how will we be able to go forward.
However, what kept him going was the close-knit community in Pierre. Wiley says he knew half the people in the infusion center, and they helped him through many struggles.
My next door neighbor was one of the people that worked in the cancer center, so it was amazingly comfortable experience.
During this time, Wiley became very active in the Avera Race Against Cancer. Wiley says the small-town atmosphere of Pierre keeps everyone strong and connected through the best and toughest of times.
This is a small enough town that you will know hundreds of people. The walk around before and the walk around afterward, people stay. They get done and just stay and mingle for a long time just to talk about just their friends, their connect.
Wiley was released from his oncology doctor's care in August of 2025 after showing no signs for 5 years. He says the run in Pierre is not only therapeutic for him, but for everyone who has fought or knows someone fighting cancer.
It's not a lonely run out that you might do on a Saturday morning or a walk you might go through the park when you're by yourself. You're out there with hundreds of people, and many of them you know. I can't tell you how important it is to a community like this.
At the Avera Race Against Cancer presented by Dakota News Now, I'm Sam Schauer.
Thanks, Sam. We're keeping you busy today. Great job, by the way. And as I promised, the runners in the 5K are turning south on Southeastern. Here they are. They're coming by. All of a sudden, it went from quiet to really busy here. And this is exactly what we want to see on, as we said, just a beautiful morning. It's not sunny, but it's nice and cool. It's a great morning to run. All right, Jason Lillick is back in the studio because we got races in 3 other cities. Jace, what's the weather going to be like there? Because it's really perfect running weather here.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. It's actually not too bad across portions of the region in terms of those temperatures, as you were mentioning, but we are still tracking those pesky showers moving into portions of southern South Dakota and southern Minnesota at this point. We're going to zoom into a couple locations that are kicking things off. One of them is in Mitchell. And again, there are still some light showers moving into the region. They should be clearing out within the next half hour or so, maybe some redevelopment on the back side of this, but we should be good by the 10 o'clock hour, it looks like, in downtown Mitchell. Heading over to Marshall, Minnesota, you've pretty much avoided a good chunk of the showers at this point. There's just some lingering cloud cover right now, which is some good news. We're going to send things back into Yankton, where they haven't really seen too much of the rain shower activity at this point. But that may change within the next 15 to 20 to 30 minutes if you've not already felt some of those showers at this point. But temperatures right now, as Mark was mentioning, it is beautiful out there right now. It is 49 in Mitchell, but it's going to be warming up as that rain-cooled air makes its way out of that viewing area. Yankton at 53. Marshall, your reader is not working right now, but you are in those lower 50s at this point. Those winds will be picking up over the course of the next couple of hours. That is something we will continue to monitor throughout the morning. We'll send things back down to Brian and Kara for more.
All right, Jason Lillick, thank you. We have what we believe to be the second runner right now to complete the course.
Wow.
Cooking with heat, as they say.
He's going fast.
Yeah, he was going. All right, hey, our coverage here continues. Glad to have you with us this morning of our coverage of the Avera Race Against Cancer.
And we're with Julia Anderson with Avera Health Plans. Thank you for being with us today, Julia.
Yes, thank you guys. It's great to be out here.
Yes. Can you tell us more about what you do within Avera?
Yeah, so I work for Avera Health Plans, and we are the integrated health plan arm of the health system. So we have members all across the state of South Dakota that use Avera for their insurance.
Yeah.
And from a cancer standpoint, What does that mean? Are there specific policies for cancer patients going in when someone is thinking about what type of insurance coverage they need? Does cancer come up in that conversation?
You know, it's definitely always a part of the conversation. No one can predict what they're going to be diagnosed with, and something that we are committed to at Avera is rural health care. So we want our members to get treated close to home. So whether they're here or in Aberdeen, Yankton, Pierre, we want them to feel comfortable. And so we are committed to that, and we want them to just have the best experience so they are not driving to Sioux Falls, where they can stay with their loved ones and their families.
Yeah, for sure. And that's great that we have representation at Avera races all across the state today.
Yes.
We've got Mitchell, we've got Yankton, we've got, Aberdeen.
I think the third or fourth year they've done that, and I just heard this morning we've got 600 runners in Yankton alone.
Wow.
Yep.
That is amazing.
Yes.
Such a turn up, I feel like.
You mentioned earlier, I want to go back to this for a second, the idea of spreading out that footprint.
Yep.
So folks can get care closer to home, or at least as close to home as possible. Talk to me about the importance of that. It's not just a physical thing, but it's also very much a mental thing, right?
It is, yep. So, as soon as someone hears they get that cancer diagnosis, the next thing that they're asking is, what does this process look like for myself and my family? So being able to have our cancer center, it's just finished in Yankton, so places all across the state where they feel at home, and it's not as mentally taxing as it is physically.
Right.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what is kind of how has the approach to cancer care and treatment changed during your time with Avera?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, so I've been with Avera for a little over 2 years now, and I've just seen firsthand how it doesn't just affect the person, it affects everyone. So it's been very emotional, and it's emotional being here today too. As much as it is positive and uplifting, you can just really see the amount of people that are impacted by the cancer diagnosis.
Can I ask if you have a personal connection to cancer? Have you had a loved one that's gone through this journey?
I have. I've had a couple people in my family that have had that, gone through that. I lost my grandpa to cancer, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, it's tough. It is so tough. You get that diagnosis, then there's that initial shock, and it's just, it's really like any medical condition. What is it that the future will hold?
Yep. For sure, and that's why it's so important, I feel like, for everyone here today to, be informed on the cause, to support, and to really just show up and show out. So we appreciate it so much.
Yes, thank you guys. Yes.
Julia, thank you for the time. We do appreciate
thank you guys. Yeah.
You are watching Dakota News Now, live coverage of the Avera Race Against Cancer. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back right after this.
Avera Race is very important to me. I've been a survivor for 25 years, but it's also important for people being diagnosed now that we have the resources available to them. The event is very important to bring people together so they know they are not alone in their journey. If you can't make it out today, you can still donate. Just scan the QR code on the screen.
I really didn't feel like our bank was watching out for our best interests and our business's needs, and we knew it was time for a change. AB&T is different. I would say that they exceed all expectations.
You can't control everything in business, but when it comes to banks, you're in charge.
I know AB&T is going to have our back.
Make the move today to American Bank and Trust. Choose your change at abt.bank.
I was diagnosed 13 years ago with breast cancer. We just like to give back at the Avera Race. If you can't make it to the race, feel free to scan the QR code. We just want to make this race a success, as it always is, to all the survivors, the fighters.
Coming out onto this camera.
Welcome back to Dakota News Now, live coverage of the Avera Race Against Cancer. Very glad to have you with us this morning. I'm Brian Allen.
Hi, I'm Kara Setzer, and as you join us here right now, we have some of the runners finishing the 5K and the 10K. It feels like they just started, so it's crazy to see them finishing already.
Yeah, they're coming through, and as Jason Lillick mentioned earlier, And I think Mark Ovenden too.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those perfect days if you're a runner. It's kind of in that sweet spot, not too hot, not too cold, just cool. Little bit of a breeze, but it seems like everybody's getting through it this morning just fine.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's a great temperature. You know, if you're sweating, you're not going to be hot. You're going to have that nice breeze hitting you. So really great conditions for a nice run this morning, if you don't mind a little bit of a sprinkle with that rain. So we now turn to a breast cancer survivor in Marshall, who for the longest time did not want to see a doctor about her pain. However, today she's grateful that she went in, because if not, she may not be here walking with us today.
Yeah, our Sam Schauer introducing us this morning to Jeannie Satry and what her message is for others.
It started with pain in Janine Satry's left breast. It was red, swollen, and hurt so much she sometimes couldn't wear a seatbelt. She resisted going to the doctor for months, until in October of 2019 she got a mammogram, and she says the doctors looked worried.
Right then, you know, because it's all totally, when they right away call somebody special. So right there that day, but then I just didn't want to believe him.
On October 18th, 2019, Satry, to her disbelief, was diagnosed with breast cancer.
You just don't want to believe it.
Treatment for her cancer started right away. Satry went through chemo, mastectomies, and radiation to try and stop the disease. In 2021, during a treatment, Satry started reading about the Avera Race Against Cancer.
And my sisters wanted to do it, so we did it. And this will be our 5th year now. And it's fun. I don't usually make it. My sisters and my niece and my daughter does the whole walk, but I don't make it. I usually get the shortcut.
Today, Satry is in remission, and what she has gone through makes her regret not getting checked out sooner and wants to warn anyone who feels symptoms to go see a doctor.
When your body says go in, go in. Don't be like me. Go in, please. Don't, because I pushed it. I'm lucky I had the treatments.
And right now, she's walking in the Avera Race Against Cancer, thinking of what is most important and how grateful she is she gets to see them every day.
Makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, yeah, I've done it. I made it. I'm making it every day. I'm still here. I'm here for my family, my kids, and just be here.
At the Avera Race Against Cancer presented by Dakota News Now, I'm Sam Schauer.
You know, we've got a great view this morning because we're set up, the start-finish line for these races is right under that arch that you can see behind us right there. So we've got a perfect view, not only as these people take on off, but also as they turn around and then come on back.
Yeah, and it's great to see the last stretch of the race too. Everyone's in their final stretch. You know,
Bailey.
Oh, there's Bailey.
Bailey Peterson
Oh
just
my
ran
goodness,
by here.
she's killing it. That's awesome. Yeah, but what I was saying, it's like you see everyone in that final stretch. So that's when they're giving it their all. They're giving that final push, that last sprint. And it's really just a very cool part of the race to see. We're in a perfect position, honestly. So
You know what else is, and I've said this in years past as well, but we're kind of elevated a little bit on a stage right here, so we can kind of look up and around here a little bit.
sure.
And when these folks come back from these races, just the determination on their faces when they're running. It's not like there's an overall winner. It's not about coming in first. It's about running the race and finishing it. And when you look at these people's faces, 9 times out of 10, what you're seeing is dogged determination.
Oh, for sure.
These people want to just get this done.
Exactly.
Because of the message it sends, not only to them personally, but then also to their friends, their family, and what you can't see there at home, well, maybe you can a little bit behind us here. There's a long fence all along this stretch of the race route, and it's shoulder to shoulder, person to person here. People watching, people cheering on runners. They don't know them, they're complete strangers, but they're really pulling for them right now to make sure that they get this done. It is just so neat to be at an event like this.
Of course, yes.
And just see everybody come together the way they do.
100%. And seeing everyone, you know, who designed signs and took the time before to make those signs to support all the racers. And it's honestly lovely being here. Such a great atmosphere for sure.
And every once in a while as we're hosting the show, people walk by or run by and they wave at us. And
I love to see it, yes.
Of course, it would be rude if we didn't return that. So we do. That last person was Jackie Hager-Tushin, who we told you about earlier in this show. She's really one of the glues that not only puts this event together but keeps it together. Remember, this is year 38.
That is very impressive.
For this event.
Wow.
That's almost 4 decades that they've been doing this.
And think about just how much 1 year of, fundraising and all the love and attention that goes into this, 38 years of that, just so impressive, the difference that we're able to make.
And so the race shirts this year are purple, and we're looking down Southeastern to the north. I had to check my directions for a second. We're looking down to the north, and Kara, it is just like a sea of purple.
It is, wow.
On Southeastern right now.
They're just all together right now. It's so amazing to see. Everyone, like I said, that final stretch, that final push, just so inspiring. Well, we're going to move on to our next inspiring story. For one cancer survivor in Yankton, the Avera Race Against Cancer means everything to her and the community.
Yeah, after walking in it once, she realized how powerful and important this race is to so many people, as we've been talking about this morning. And she now makes sure to help however she can, year after year after year. Sam Schauer this morning introduces us to Angie Hale.
Angie Hale has lived in Yankton for most of her life and is very active physically and in the community. It's why it was weird to her in the summer of 2017 that she was feeling tired all the time. She called in for a physical and thought nothing of it. Until in September of 2017, Hale was rushed to the hospital for a fever and an infection in her leg.
By the following Monday, I went in on a Friday morning. By the following Monday, they had done a bone marrow biopsy and diagnosed me with acute myelogenic leukemia.
Hale's type of leukemia is a blood cancer that attacked her bone marrow. She was soon transported to Sioux Falls, where she would stay for the next couple of months for chemotherapy and a stem cell transplant. Hale stayed with her daughter in Sioux Falls when she could, and by May of 2018, she was cancer-free and was able to go back home to Yankton.
I gradually just got stronger and got back on the exercises, and I have a good quality of life now. I went off immune suppression meds in 2023.
A couple years later, Hale's daughter mentioned the idea of walking in the Avera Race Against Cancer.
In 2021, she convinced me I should come up to Sioux Falls for the cancer walk, and I've done it every year since then.
In 2023, the Avera Race Against Cancer spread to Yankton, and Hale has been a volunteer and a participant at every single one.
I walk, my husband walks, my sister-in-law walks, my daughter walks, my grandchildren walk. We just walk and celebrate.
Hale says she walks as a way to pay it forward to those who saved her life, but also as a way to cheer for the survivors and honor the ones we've lost.
We need to celebrate surviving. But at the same time, I recognize that there are those whose journey ends differently than mine did. We still need to celebrate their life and what they meant to their loved ones.
At the Avera Race Against Cancer presented by Dakota News Now, I'm Sam Schauer.
So as of January, I am now a 29-year breast cancer survivor. I had all my treatment at Avera Cancer Institute. But this year has taken on a different meaning for me. Last Friday, I found out my daughter-in-law has just been diagnosed with breast cancer. So she'll start her journey on Monday, and after we got through a lot of tears, she said to me, "Do you think this means I qualify for a survivor shirt?" And I said, "Undoubtedly. As soon as you hear that C word, you become a cancer survivor." If you can't make it to the Avera race, you can still donate. Just click on the QR code that's appearing on your screen right now, and you can still help support the race.
So the Avera Race Against Cancer is really important to me and my family. I've been a breast cancer survivor since 2014. So I had all of my care with Avera. All of the funds stay local to help cancer survivors like myself and my family. My husband had melanoma, got treatment with Avera. My father has renal cancer, getting treatment with Avera. After all of my cancer treatment, I decided to become a nurse, so I now work for Avera. I've got 10 of my coworkers with me here volunteering today. The race is really important to me because all of the funds stay local to help all the survivors here. It's a really great time. All right, so if you can't make it to the race, there's a QR code on your screen where you can donate to all the teams that help cancer survivors in the area.
Well, a guy just ran by us on the race course route here in a banana costume.
It was quite a sight, honestly.
Did you hear what he said?
I don't know what he said, but I know that he made a loud noise. Probably feeling all that energy, but you know, he's just very excited, just like everyone else. Some show it more than others. So
might have just been a general expression of happiness and joy. Welcome back to Dakota News Now live coverage of the Avera Race Against Cancer. You know, colorectal cancer is the third most common cancer across the world and has the second leading cause of cancer deaths overall. And did you know that cases are actually rising in younger people?
And joining us now are Gracelyn Freeheim and Ashlyn Karpinen, two high school students from T. Thank you guys so much for being with us here today. Their senior project was actually on colorectal cancer. So just to start off, can you guys tell me, this is not an easy topic to discuss, obviously, so what led you to focus on this for your senior project?
For me, I have direct impact with colorectal cancer in my life. I am genetically more common to get it.
For me, I had several family members pass away from different gastrointestinal cancers, and so that led me to want to research colorectal cancer in the community.
Yeah, for sure. And can you guys tell me if there's maybe anything that surprised you or caught you off guard during your research? Or maybe any of your big findings during your research?
So what we did was we interviewed several people within the community, and we found so many connections with healthcare professionals who say they're finding people as early as their 20s coming in for colorectal cancer. So that was really surprising for us.
You said that you know that you have a higher than average risk of a colorectal cancer. Do you know that because of family history, or was there some type of testing involved?
Yes, I have family history. So my great aunt was just diagnosed with colorectal cancer for the second time.
Wow, and I think that really goes to show how, you know, just anyone can be impacted for sure. And as you said, younger people younger and younger are being, you know, colorectal cancer is being discovered in them. So how important is it to just, you know, make sure that you're going to the doctor and, you know, staying aware and keeping everything checked out?
It's very important because we're seeing this cancer developing earlier. The screening age is not till 45 or 50. So going in early, learning about your family history can really help prevent that early development.
One question before we let you guys go. You've done this research, you have, you know, a personal experience in this. What does it mean for you to specifically be here at this event right here, right now?
I think it just goes to show the unending support that the Sioux Falls community has for teenagers of our age, and it's just amazing. It's just amazing that anything that we wanted to do, the town was like, let's make it happen, when and where.
Yeah, just especially Avera and all the other people putting on this race, they were so supportive. There's thousands of people here ready to run and show their support, so it means a lot to be here, definitely.
Of course. And I've got a few last questions for you guys. So how old are you guys?
I'm 18.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm 18 too.
So what are your guys' next plans? Do you guys think, are any of you guys interested in like biology or, you know, going into the medical profession or anything like that?
Yeah, so we are attending the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Awesome. Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're double majoring in biology and biochemistry.
Nice,
Great.
awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Thanks for being with us. Some good kids here, if we can say that.
For sure, bright future.
Standing by to go live, Donovan Miner and Amelia Roberts, I think. Let's take it out to them this morning.
Thanks, Ryan and Kara. Now, you have seen plenty of stories today brought to you by our very own Sam Shower. Sam's had a busy month traveling to several communities to tell the stories you've seen throughout this special.
And right now, Sam is joining us here, not as a reporter though, as a runner, as well as Bailey Peterson. First question, guys, how are we feeling after the race?
Oh my goodness, I mean, it's amazing, the adrenaline. At the end of that race, I was full on just arms chucked and trying to get it done with, but it feels amazing. I mean, I'm guessing you're the same way.
Yeah, I feel great. I think, I've done this race. This is my third year doing it, and every year it never seems to fail. It's so touching. It's emotional to see all the people out here. I was running. You see some Survivor shirts in front of you, and it just keeps pushing you. It's one of the most emotional races I think someone could ever run, and it really pushes you to the end. It makes you want to keep running.
That's amazing, Bailey. So you've done this a couple years in the past. How maybe was this year different? Did we train a lot this year? Was it just coming naturally?
I think, I should have probably trained more, but I'm a runner at heart. I've grown up running, so I think, it's just getting back out there. And like I said, the motivation you need is seeing the survivors out here running the race themselves and their families, and everybody's been touched, by cancer in some way, sadly. So I think that just kind of pushes you and motivates you during that race.
Definitely.
And Sam, on the flip side of things, this is your first 5K that you've ever run. How was the experience of the training and the race itself kind of in the lead up?
Well, honestly, Donovan, I had no idea how to train. So I come from a long line of short, stocky German farmers, all right? We're built low, tough to the ground, built for power, not endurance. So I had no idea how to start. So I was told just start on the treadmill, just, 1 mile at a time. So basically, I did that. I progressed as the months gone on, and then last week I finally got a 5K on a treadmill. So first time running it out here, and I hope I did good.
Definitely did great.
Yeah, especially in our eyes. It was awesome to watch you guys cross that finish line. Bailey, I heard you had some running company this year. Was it just our Sam Shower, or was there some other people that was from maybe our team?
Yeah, we had Jim Berman running, we had Fiona Sullivan running, Mara, she's with our sales department, and obviously Sam and I think we had a little rivalry during the practices. He beat me in the practices. Today I was like, you know what, I'm going to sprint it all. I wanted to beat you. That was my goal. But I think, some friendly competition just really what gets you out here and gets you pushed to run more.
Well, Sam, before we send it back, you've done plenty of stories on this show. For our show, we've seen some of the stories you've done. How did that motivate you in this race, hearing people's stories?
Well, it's amazing because, not everyone in just Sioux Falls has been affected by cancer. Everyone across the area has been affected in some way, whether it be patients or doctors. So traveling to Marshall, Minnesota, traveling to Yankton, hearing their stories, it really motivated me and really wanted me to do well, to perform in front of, all these survivors and really just run for a great purpose.
All right. Well, great job to you guys. You did great today.
Yeah.
You made us tired just watching.
Literally, I was gonna say, it was perfect weather. I'm glad it all turned out so well, and you guys made us so proud. So thank you guys for taking part.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. And for those of you that have never ran the race, next year I recommend signing up. It's awesome to be out here.
All right.
Definitely.
Brian and Kara, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Donovan, Amelia, Bailey, Sam, the rest of the team, thank you for being with us this morning. We've had a team, we mentioned at the top of the show, we've had a team in this race for 15 years.
Wow.
And man, do those team members take it seriously.
They do, for sure. We've had practices this whole month, just preparing and getting in the race spirit, bonding with our coworkers. It's really been just such a great experience, and it's awesome seeing them come full circle today. Watching Bailey cross that finish line, she was racing, I know she was excited, so just so awesome to be here and to see all that. And for sure, we didn't want to just thank everyone for being here today, but also for waking up so early, and a special thank you to the Dakota News Now crew here running the race and also in the studio for making everything happen. We could not do this without everyone involved. So
true story. In fact, our Dakota News Now crew has a shot of the sidewalk that's behind us here as some of the folks who have completed the race are now walking back into the crowd. There's entertainment here.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have maybe a Powerade, a Gatorade waiting for them for all the
We've
work
got the
that
music
they've
bumping.
done. Yeah, our compliments to the DJ this morning.
Exactly, great environment. Definitely keeping the morale up. It's been an amazing time. We had some Prince earlier, some Sweet Caroline. We've got everything. So
this is, I think, is this the third or fourth year we've broadcast this live? Your first?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's my first year, so I was very happy to, be able to be a part of this project and be able to share these people's inspiring stories. But it seems like y'all have had something going on for a long time now.
It's so fulfilling to be out here at an event like this and just get to show you what's going on and talk about a topic that is so serious and affects so many of us.
For sure, and I feel like usually you can speak to this too. We're in a studio, we're not directly seeing people, but being here doing this broadcast today, like on scene, seeing everyone, interacting with everyone, it's just made it so much more impactful.
You bet.
It's been amazing. Well, you know what? I appreciate you guys all being here with us today. Thank you guys for waking up and for listening to all these stories. And
yeah, before we go here, remember this: cancer affects everybody. You can still make a difference. Scan that QR code. It will allow you to donate and help make this year's race the most successful yet.
All right. Well, once again, thank you, everyone. I am Kara Setzer.
I'm Brian Allen. Thanks for being with us for our coverage of the 38th annual Avera Race Against Cancer.